Warning, the following video will contain spoilers for an episode of Miraculous Ladybug Season 2. If you want my recommendation, watch the episode I am watching before continuing on with this video. But if you don't care about spoilers, or want to maintain your sanity, then just sit back and enjoy.
What is this episode? No, seriously, what is this freaking episode? Why does it exist? What's the point of it? Honestly, I don't even know how to begin this review other than... why? You know, I was planning on doing a collaboration for this episode, but after really thinking about it, no, it doesn't deserve to have a collab review. It deserves to be bashed, buried, and forgotten. It's one of the worst episodes in the season for more reasons than the obvious. And I'm just gonna cut the bullcrap and just review it already. Cue the title card. What's the point? Hello everybody and welcome back to my Miraculous Marathon. This episode sucks, episode 7, Gigantitan. So we open our episode at Casa du Panchang, where Alia invited Alex, Milan, Julka, and Rose to reveal some sizzling top-secret classified information.
You know who Ladybug is?
12 seconds in and this episode's already testing me. And what's the sizzling top-secret classified information that Marinette doesn't want Alia to— She's revealing her crush on Adrian to the surprise of no one, not even the girls.
Well, it is pretty obvious.
Then how come Adrian hasn't picked up on it?
Boys never pick up on things like that. Mm-hmm.
Okay, for this part of the episode, I mostly put down react to boys never pick up on that. You see? Because I don't know how to put to words how exactly I feel about that line. I mean, I could just say it's the show not wanting to admit that Adrian's a moron, or probably one of the grossest oversimplifications I've ever heard, but I don't know what to say about this. I feel like it does all the speaking for me. Just, really, Rose? So Alia tells the girls that they have to set up a date for the two.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Wait till you hear the plan. So Operation Secret Garden, the name will make more sense later, trust me, basically consists of Adrian, aka Buttercup, and he gets captured by the Dreadpire Roberts. Sorry, I had to squeeze one in there. And his bodyguard, aka the nanny, waiting to pick him up.
Except that's not gonna happen.
Screw his schedule, screw his bodyguard, screw his father, he has a date to be put in.
Oh, that's so sweet.
So that's where the girls come in. Julka will put a fake sign near the car, Milan will inform Roger, Roger won't question if that sign has always been there or not, Roger will get the car out of here, and Adrian will be lonely and sad. So can't Adrian just text Gorilla and let him know that he's done with his photo shoot? Well, no, as Marinette points out, Adrian leaves all of his stuff in the car during his photo shoot.
Even his phone. Such a professional. It's so romantic.
Are you crazy? So Buttercup will notice Marinette, pigeons will fly, sparks will fly, I will die.
What an incredible, crazy coincidence.
Crazy? Absolutely. Incredible? Yeah, it's totally incredible that she showed up right as your bodyguard left you. Rose will give the cue to Theo on a rickshaw, and Marinette sums her up perfectly. Thank you, Alex. But she promises that she'll ask Adrian to go home with her, and Adrian will just say, okay, and go with her.
I've always dreamed of going on a rickshaw with you.
Schedule, Gorilla, Father, Punishment! Do any of them cross your mind at least once? I think I'm getting floaters in my eye. They head to Andre the Ice Cream Man. No, don't worry. Your time will come very soon. Very soon. And Alex will ride by them, throwing rose petals. What's the point of the rose petals? I get Marinette wants this to be super duper uber romantic, but I feel like the ice cream might be enough. Maybe that's the point, though. And no, the rose petals aren't the reason for the secret garden name. It's actually because their code names are flowers. Marinette is Lotus. I would have gone with a chrysanthemum, but okay. Alia's Tiger Lily. Makes sense. Alex is Violet. Why didn't they give that to Julica? Milan is Sunflower. Meh. Okay, I guess.
Though I just now noticed that she was wearing a daisy on her jacket, so why wasn't she given the codename Daisy?
Rose is Tulip. I have no problem with it. And Julica is Rose. If you see the joke coming from a mile away, don't worry. You're not crazy. I see it too. Honestly, what is the point of having Julica keep the name Rose if Rose makes it obvious that the name will cause confusion? Besides, there are so many other flower names that they could pick from, pardon the pun. Marigold, Peony, Pansy, Lilac, Dahlia, Daffodil, Daisy, Lavender, Begonia, freaking Hydrangea! Hydrangea would be a much better name than Rose! Speaking of Rose and Julica, if you notice something off about their voices, that's because there's a cast change. Instead of Erin Fitzgerald, the two are now voiced by Reba Burr, the same person who played Gina Dupin / Bafana. Actually, she began voicing these two as early as the first episode of Miraculous Tales from Paris.
I should take a look at this at some point.
Now, I have nothing against Reba. She seems like a nice person, she's done some good voice work. And hey, she also hosted Disney 365. That's pretty cool. But her performance as Julica and Rose... well, okay, Julica's alright, but it's noticeably stiffer. I get that she's trying to sound as deep as Erin, but she kinda lacks the subtle emotions Erin brought to Julica.
Nobody ever hears me or sees me.
Which flower am I again?
Sure, she does raise her voice at one point, but... yeah. But like I said, the difference is still slight. I still prefer Erin Fitzgerald's performance, but I don't think Reba does a bad job. As Julica, anyways. Rose, on the other hand...
Yeah, what?
yeah, Erin, I am so sorry about what I said in Princess Fragrance. She sounds so bubbly, so squeaky, and so high-pitched, and... granted, Rose has always been high-pitched, but Erin Fitzgerald found a way to keep it to a point where it doesn't become ear-grating. So she sounds much more like a sweetheart. She sounds more angelic.
He's just so gorgeous and with a heart of gold.
Again, I have nothing against Reba, but when it boils down to which performance I like more, yeah, I think Erin did a much better job. I'll give Reba the benefit of the doubt and say maybe she'll improve in later episodes, but for now... yeah, I should move on. I already spent a long enough time on the first 5 minutes of this episode. We cut to the Trocadero, where Adrian's having the photo shoot, all the flowers have been planted, and they execute their plan. Let's see how badly they mess up. Julica gets a whale stuck in a manhole cover. Not what I expected. She has to tell Roger about the road sign, and he doesn't understand. Again, not what I expected, and it's not really Milan, but... I'll count it anyways. And Rose gets confused queuing the rickshaw too early. Bingo!
Isn't that a tic-tac-toe board?
Shut up. But the girls slowly recover, even though Roger doesn't question why Milan's holding up the sign and drive the nanny away. Until he returns later. The girls raise the sign up and Roger hits Gorilla with 3 fines. One of those fines being for infuriating him. Like, really? Really? Do you have to charge him for ruining your day? Is that necessary? This angers Gorilla and leaves Hawkmoth a great opportunity to send an Akuma to make him his next minion.
Fly away, my little Akuma, and evilize him!
Yeah, giving Gorilla a few tickets for parking violations he didn't commit and turning him evil. All of this to take Adrian out on a date. Isn't that romantic? And considering Marinette was mostly responsible for this plan... yeah, I'm gonna have to mark her down for this.
His emotions just vanished!
Yeah, once he sees Adrian, his anger just blows away, like dust in the wind. Okay then. Congratulations, Mary. You dodged a bullet right there. But this episode's still called Gigantitan. If Gorilla's not going to be akumatized, then who is? What? No, your eyes aren't deceiving you. The Akuma goes to this freakish baby from hell named August. First off, no, I am not taking back what I said about him being a freakish baby from hell. Listen to what he sounds like!
Lollipop! Lollipop! Lollipop!
I have no idea who voiced him in the English dub. His voice actor hasn't really stepped up and announced it. And if he or she wanted to keep it secret, to be quite honest, I don't blame them. Second, what was the point of teasing Gorilla's akumatization if it was going to go to a baby? It's almost like one of the writers had an episode in mind where Gorilla was akumatized, but then they saw the baby they were sitting and thought, I'll save it for later. Giant baby it is. To be fair, they do sort of build this freak up in between Operation Secret Garden. We see the baby wanting a lollipop, but the mom says he's too young for lollipops. So how does he know what a lollipop is, and how does he know he wants it? And Marinette, in an admittedly kind gesture, does help the mother carry him up the stairs, and he's still crying for lollipops. But, okay, the baby has an Akuma.
This is a terrible idea!
Hawkmoth can try and justify this harebrained idea with,
What could be more emotionally powerful than a baby throwing a giant temper tantrum?
but not only is there indeed something more powerful than that, an adult having a mental breakdown, but the moment he calls him
Hawkmoo?
it's clear that this isn't going to work. If he can't even say your name right, what makes you think he'll grasp the concept of collecting the Miraculouses? And wouldn't you know, he doesn't!
You must bring me Ladybug and Cat Noir's Miraculous.
Lollipop?
You're an idiot!
And here's our villain of the day, Gigantitan. Take a look, let it sink in, and weep. First off, God, that name sucks. It's just gigantic and Titan mashed together. That's it! The German dub does call him Babyzilla, and while I would have gone with something like Baby Lossus, Infant Titan, or Infant Terror would have been so much better than Gigantitan. It is still leagues better than the name that we got here. Secondly, okay, I'm not a huge fan of his design, but I'm not really going to harp on it. It does look like a baby villain costume. As for his powers and motivation, he's big. He has a good throwing arm. He wants a lollipop. That's it. That's all we're getting. That's our villain. And let me tell you, he's no big bad baby Bowser. Though he's not trying to be. He's not meant to be intimidating. He's more of a joke villain, in a similar vein to Mr. Pigeon. But to give Mr. Pigeon credit, he at least held his own against the duo and was at least compliant with Hawkmoth. Gigantitan? He's a freaking baby! One of the least controllable things in the world, and if I'm allowed to ask, isn't Hawkmoth a father? Shouldn't he know that babies are very hard to control? If they can be controlled at all? And you might be thinking to yourself that Hawkmoth will eventually get sick of this baby and take away his powers, right? This is the villain for the whole episode. Not once does he think about taking away his powers or even threaten to remove them. He just stands there, watches as Gigantitan basically does nothing, and gets frustrated in a comical manner. Okay, you know, I gotta... You wanna know why I keep this on my wall? Well, aside from the fact that I got this signed by Keith Silverstein, and, for framing purposes. But this right here is a symbol of my respect for Hawkmoth. He's quickly become one of my absolute favorite villains in TV history. So, just to see him create villains like this, and not do anything about it, but just get frustrated that it's not working, it just hurts. What's the point of keeping this villain around if he isn't going to give Hawkmoth the Miraculouses? Is it just so we can see Hawkmoth lose his mind at the baby? I know some people find this funny, but whenever I see this, I just sit in the corner of my shower and depress about where Hawkmoth went wrong. I thought that his blunder in Lady Wi-Fi was bad. It still is. But this... I have never seen a villain lose this much integrity this fast since Cinder Falls bawling her eyes out.
Oh, no!
Why do people take you seriously? Really, do I have to explain what happens from here? The duo transform and try to distract the baby. Though if it means anything, I kinda like how playful Cat Noir is with August. It makes me think he'll be the best dad in the world. That's the only bright spot in this episode. I hope you enjoy it because it doesn't get any better from here. Then they try to come up with an elaborate plan that will inevitably backfire. Sound familiar? Yeah, that's the message of this episode. Don't make things so complicated. Stay simple. Honestly, not really that bad of a message, but as we'll see at the very end of this episode, that will backfire as well. So the elaborate plan is they trap the baby in the Eiffel Tower and try to soothe him with pigeon noises so they can take the bracelet and break it. Though Cat Noir does suggest singing him a lullaby.
We want to calm the baby down, not burst his eardrums.
Santa, you're the winner. We stand down and surrender.
Seriously, Ladybug, Cat Noir would sing a great lullaby. You're just being mean. They do get him inside the Eiffel Tower, but Ladybug's string is apparently so unbreakable that Gigantitan is able to cut through the Eiffel Tower with it. Are you kidding me? I've heard Ladybug's string was made of willpower or something. I don't know. Maybe it's
Magic?
Still, I refuse to believe that it's strong enough to cut through the Eiffel Tower. Oh, and Cat Noir, he does try to cataclysm his bracelet, but gets sent back to Andre and... What's the point of him using his cataclysm if he's just going to waste it? Okay, I am stretching it a bit, but... Still, how could he do this to Andre's ice cream? Gigantitan grabs Ladybug in a pole and is about to give the flea her very first vor experience. Yes, I am trying to make you cringe. But her friends step in to help out. That's actually kind of cool. The two meet up, Ladybug finally decides to stay simple and uses her lucky charm. And what did she summon this time?
Gift wrap?
And spoiler alert, I shouldn't have used that We All Have the Right clip because it's the exact same deal. It's a Trojan pop. She breaks the bracelet and releases the Akuma. Insert status quo you've seen here, turn everything back to normal, and no fist bump. But we do see Cat Noir holding August, which is admittedly adorable. August's mom takes her son back and the duo leave.
Thank you!
Never speak again. Another day, another attack, another victory for the Miraculous duo, and another L Hawkmoth has to take. So Marinette meets up with the girls and they notice Adrian leaving, giving Marinette a chance to finish the job without the complicated plan. Now, like I said before, I have no problem with the moral. Sometimes staying simple is the better option. Whether it's for planning out a date or anything else. I sort of use the mindset for designing the Huntsman as an example. Too bad they had to screw it up! Marinette walks up to Adrian, pretends she was doing some sketching, becomes a mess, and...
Oh, forget it. Better not keep your guard waiting.
You blew it! Okay, good she has some consideration, but still, can't she just at least blurt out a hangout later? But Adrian does offer her a ride home. Alright, this is a good opportunity for her to spend time with him. Maybe not as much time as a date, but...
No, it's okay. I'll take a coleslaw home. Thanks.
One more time. You blew it! Seriously, why did she have to say no? Wasn't she going to commit to it?
Well, at least you managed to get a sentence out without losing your cool.
Yeah, funny thing about that... In both of these episodes, she was perfectly able to let out more than one sentence to him without losing her cool. I even gave praise to Kung Fu for this. So if you're going to set up this episode centered around the moral of no need to make things complicated, just get to the point, but end up having Marinette bail twice, only getting a sentence out without losing her cool as if it means anything, when in reality, she was perfectly capable of saying more than one sentence without losing her cool in earlier episodes.
Then what's the point of doing anything?
In fact, that's been a consistent theme throughout this episode, hasn't it? What's the point? What's the point of giving Juleka the codename Rose if they know it's going to cause confusion? What's the point in letting the baby keep the Akuma if he's not going to do anything? What's the point of setting up the moral by having Marinette try to whisk Adrian away through an elaborate plan and then just saying, screw it, I'm just going to get to the point, and then back out of it even though she promised the girl she'd commit to it? What's the point of her backing out with only a sentence said to Adrian without losing her cool if she was perfectly capable of saying more in previous episodes? What's the point? So that's Gigantitan. It is the pits. Now you can play the music. Honestly, I don't even know what else to say about this episode. The only good thing I can say is it's animated by Sam G and it's just as good as it usually is. But what does good animation mean with a story and villain like this? The best way I can describe this episode is it's a joke. A joke of a story, a joke of an execution of a moral, a joke of a villain making a joke of another villain. All of this combined to make a joke of an episode. One without a good punchline, payoff, or reason to be made in general. I won't stop you from watching this episode out of curiosity, but if you want my opinion, this is a definite skip from me. It has its moments, but they're very few and far between, and don't do much to save this episode from any of the other problems it has. It's just worthless. Though to be honest, if you were to ask me where this ranks among the worst, I'd still take this over the unholy trio of Season 1 any day of the week. Well, maybe except for Pixelator. I've been too hard on Pixelator. Alright, next time on the Miraculous Marathon, we will be having a look at...
Hey, thanks for watching. If you like this, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, support me on Patreon, check out my other social media for more ASLB. Have a great life, stay miraculous, and see ya.
Watch out for the very naughty Ladybug.
Okay!